You will join.
Yes. A very good morning to everyone for your kind presence. For a brief introduction, today we will discuss how our presenters will going to present in the during the ISRO Amity joint workshop, which is planned on 15th May. And it was initiative of Dr. A.K. Singh sir. He suggested yesterday that tomorrow itself, means today, we should have a brief introduction of our scientists so that you can know each other. We should know who all going to present in the data analytics, in the AI and astrobiology, so that you can interact with each other. You can discuss the structure of the presentation so that we can maintain the uniformity of the presentation. And as we discussed, our workshop has been planned mainly in three domains: artificial intelligence, data analytics, and astrobiology. So we're going to start with the data analytics today. Singh sir, I would request your remarks, sir.
Okay, good morning. Good morning to Dr. Silvamurthy and all our esteemed faculty. And what I understand that Founder Sir is also watching it virtually. And good morning to Founder Sir also. I think today's mission, because we at SNT War Room, we work on the mission mode. I think I'll say that today's mission is to forge strong collaboration between ISRO and Amity. That is the final outcome which we are looking forward. And for the sake of all the participants, though you had been part of this journey till now, I'll just share with you the chronology of events which has taken place and why we are meeting for this meeting today. I think the whole thing emanates from the conduct of India International Science Fair at Faridabad, where Dr. Kavita and Dr. Shafali, they met Sudhir, who is a director at ISRO. Then we at Mumbai campus invited Dr. Somnath, where the Amity conferred honorary causa, and he also visited a Mumbai campus for long, where Dr. Silva Murthy was there, and Dr. Silva Murthy sir had long a discussion with Dr. Sudhir, and there it was conceived that we will have a joint workshop. And I think nothing could be better than this, to having a joint workshop. And in this workshop, we plan that we would like to explore, engage with them on various R&D research or other aspects which I'll share with you. I think, as Shafali has said, this workshop is planned tentatively on 15th, and Honorable Founder President is attaching huge importance to that. And it would be attended by the Chairman Space Commission, Dr. Somnath, along with senior directors. So it's a unique event for us, and very good opportunity for us to make use of this event for Amity and ultimately for the country. I think what we have done after that, Dr. Silva Murthy and along with all me, Dr. Neera Sharma and Shafali, we had interaction with the faculty, where you explained what you had been doing and what are your research domains. And based on that, the faculty have been shortlisted. Why, when I say shortlisted, it is merely on the basis of the domain, because the number of slots for presentation by our faculty is limited. So that had been the main reason, because we wanted to cover all the three areas: AI, data analytics, and astrobiology. So now we have to make the presentation in each session. Each session of these domains, one presentation would be by MIT faculty and one by uh, ISRO scientists. So now the main mission of today's meeting is that we have to put our best foot forward. We have to tell them what we are doing, means as an individual, and what are my expertise, how I can help or how I can contribute in their missions. Or I can also share my idea, that this is my idea, you may like to explore it. These are the main things. And then we will also explore how we can take joint projects where we would be working, because what happens, sometimes I have the idea, but I don't have a facility to evaluate, to test, to characterize, for the
Dr. A.K.
sake of
Singh,
that. Hmm.
the Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Mumbai has joined. You can also welcome him.
Okay,
Santosh
welcome.
ji,
I'm sorry I missed him. Welcome,
just now.
Honorable Sir.
Yeah, please,
Because,
please go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
okay. So we can have a joint research projects and joint PhDs and joint guides. Why I'm saying this, because I was meeting with some of the DRDO scientists, those who are young. They say that I am eligible for the PhD guide. So even but he is not getting students. For such things, even we can explore in ISRO. Now coming to the expertise, because these three with AI, big data, and astrobiology. If we really see the canvas of ISRO, it's a very unique organization with very high credibility, not only in India, world over. And it is a really a opportunity for all of us to really go near to them, understand them, and learn from them and work with them. So the other areas which is new to them, I would like to share with you, because I got the opportunity to understand those areas when I was in DRDO. And what could be these areas? Mainly they work on navigation, telemetry, imagery, propulsion, communication. And they want to understand the atmosphere, so that how the atmosphere, various activities in atmosphere impact all these navigation and telemetry or imaging. The new aspect which has been entered is the human factor, and particularly for the man mission, that is Gaganyaan. And future missions would be giving more emphasis on the man missions in time to come, maybe in 5 years, 10 years hence. So it is the right time that we embark on that, we engage with them on these things. Why I'm just flagging these points to you, then you can just see, can you contribute. One could be the selection of the Gagannauts, then training, then monitoring, then their medicines, space medicines. Not, when I say space medicine, don't get scared that it's a huge bada tech intensive. No, the issue was how to store the medicines after labeling, so that they can easily retrieve, and they know how many medicines are left. That kind of small things they need. Then food, the source of calorie, the type of calorie, the palatability. Then major thing was the delivery system, and then also a heating system, because they would also like to eat the heated food, because they need such things. Then when they will land back, they will fall in the ocean, because there they need dinghy, which is inflatable dinghy. These are not very high tech things which we can also do. Then they need small thing like shark repellent, which is a chemical. Suppose they have to stay there for about 12 hours, 24 hours. If shark comes, they will spray that chemical and shark will be repelled. Fire detection, fire suppression. Then the vital parameters, monitoring. Then transferring the data in high fidelity mode. Then space suits, and they also need small connectors for all these things. Then waste disposal, not only the human waste disposal, but also their other disposal. Suppose the leftover small foods or some tissue paper, so that it should not putrefy. So can we have some bags which will be self containing and self sterilizing, or they will be degrading those waste. And how can we convert the sweat and the urine, or the breathing the atmosphere, the moisture which we have, into the potable water. All these things. Then radiation, material for their module, then radiation effect on the human, and radiation monitoring, etc., etc. So these are the things. Now coming to the presentation. Now we from FSTIA will be sharing with you the structured format. Me, when I say template with you, where you can make your presentation. Today we are not expecting the presentation for you. We are just sharing that what is the enlarged domain and the mission. Then you make the presentation. We will have a mock presentation on Monday, and we all will sit, Dr. Silva Murthy, we two are there, and we can invite all other faculty also. Then we will give you our suggestions. Then on Wednesday, you will make the final presentation, where we will also request Honorable Founder President to join, and we will forward that presentation to him for his final comments. So tentatively, already Shefali has sent you the tentative template. The first, we would request you to just say your name, your expertise, and your accomplishment, so that you are new to them. They should understand here is a faculty who has this domain, this area, and saliently, succinctly, what we have achieved. Then what I offer, जो मेरा achievement है, उसको how it can be useful to the ISRO, to my understanding. If it is not immediately I am able to understand, then I will say these are my expertise. Now I leave it to them, so that they can decide, yes, your expertise is useful to me in A area, B area, or C area. Then we will also bring out then how it will provide solution to them, or how it will help them. And we can also say that not only not alone, I, along with my other department or other institution, would provide you the solution. Means it can be tripartite. And if there is a new idea which does not exist, even we can flag that new idea, and then we can have the discussion on that. And then ultimately, which I said, joint research projects, etc., etc., which we will be keeping an eagle eye, and try to capture the opportunity or flag those issues, so that at the end of the meeting we are able to make a good impression. And this is the golden opportunity where we show our strength, where we show our mission and our thinking. And one more thing I want to flag lastly, it is not the individual achievement. A whole thing is being done for Amity. It is not an individual that I should be doing. No, we should be doing, so that tomorrow we keep the flag of the Amity very high, because founder president had been closely monitoring all the events, or the chronology of events which I have shared. Dr. Silva Murthy is very much involved in that. So I'll stop here. Any suggestion? It is a informal discussion. You can just raise any query, any clarification, so that we work frankly and each other. But sir, I am also a little bit pained, because this faculty which we had selected, they are not able to join today. They say that I have some work, this work and that work. I think this has got the highest priority. I think we should have postponed those activities, and rather than not joining this. I don't know how do you take this call. I leave it to you. But thank you very much for this opportunity, and we will listen from you. Over to Shefali.
Thank you so much for making our faculty comfortable, sir, and your suggestions are really valuable for our faculty members. And I hope they all are noting your points. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable suggestions, sir. Sir, I will request Silvamurthy, sir, for your kind remarks, sir, so that we can request VC, sir, Mumbai campus, because he is leading astrobiology also in the university. Dr. M.K. Datta, sir, has also joined. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
Very good. So thank you, Shefali. And very good morning to each and every one of you. The brilliant faculties we're all proud of, the Amitians. You are the chosen one, who are blessed to be in Amity, who are blessed to be in this mission, Amity Space Mission. So congratulations to you all. And let me start with conveying the blessings of Honorable Founder President to all of you, and also for this mission. Because, I consider always blessings are Brahmastra. So let me convey that to all of you from Founder President. And I also appreciate all of you who have joined us today for this wonderful initiative. You people have made your PPTs, initial stages. You are in the process of making, some of you. So my compliments to each and every one of you. Only in Amity, this kind of commitment, devotion, sincerity I see. So compliments to each and every one of you. As you are all aware that you are joining a very important mission, Amity Space Mission, which Honorable Founder President has announced. So the first step towards the direction is this joint workshop, which Dr. A.K. Singh very lucidly presented the objectives, the background, and how it happened. So all this he has very nicely brought out and also gave some very valuable guidelines at how do you standardize the presentations in a format which will be very impressive and which will be meaningful for the ISRO and other scientists who will be attending. So thank you so much, A.K. Singh, for bringing it this very, very lucidly. See, the whole program is, as was mentioned by Dr. A.K. Singh, is being navigated by founder president himself. That shows the highest priority Amity has attached to this. In this also, founder president today has sent a mail. He will be observing because he has so many other responsibilities, commitments. So in spite of that, he would also be seeing this presentation from the very beginning. So thank you, founder president, for spending so much time with us on this mission. And this is because of which we are very, very sure that this mission will be very, very fruitful. The other thing I want to convey also, we had requested both the chancellors to join there. So they are going to be there. Both the C5, C6, which is our both the chancellors are also likely to join there. So this and founder president himself will attend the whole program. This shows the importance Amity has attached to this mission. The other one is from ISRO side. The chairman himself is coming. Not only himself, he is going to bring at least about 10 directors from various places. Could be from Trivandrum, Bangalore, and also from Bombay, and also from Ahmedabad, and different centers. The directors level people are going to be there. So the ISRO has attached a lot of importance. Not only we have attached, Somnath, he himself, chairman himself might spend a long time with us, with directors. So this is the importance of the mission. So how seriously you should think in terms of presenting ourselves, Amity's strength, research, innovation, and novel initiatives which should come. Something disruptive technologies, disruptive thoughts should be presented there. So again, ruminate, that this is the first meeting in terms of giving the standardized form of presentation, but then think, that is the significance. So when you make the presentation, that novelty and disruptiveness in your ideas, thoughts, which will benefit Indian space research, that should be your not only just project your achievements,
One information
but
from
what
you.
you
Sir,
want to.
Sir, I'll just take leave for 1 minute because another meeting which Harjinder is conducting for our fellow. Only for 2 minutes, I'll come back.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, AK. I know, I understand. The other thing is Sudhir ji was sent, Dr. Sudhir ji was sent by Dr. Somnath ji, go to Amity University. There, they have the fire in their belly. This is the word Sudhir ji told us. Somnath ji told him, these Amity people have fire in their belly, which I could see when I interacted with them. This was the impression chairman himself has given. So that means his expectations, aspirations from Amity is also very high. So I'm sure all of us Amitians will live up to our his expectations, founders' expectations. Now, how do you make the impactful Amity participation? One is how do you present yourself? How do you communicate? And also how do your presentation contents novelty in something which will attract ISRO. This is the one I need. This is the area of research we have to do. So that is the impactful presentation. It should be professional, lucid, and also concise to the time. So all these are very important. When you make the presentations, you should limit to the time as well so that you don't overshoot too much of your time. The other one, he has already explained that your presentation should include your own profile first, and then what is your strength in the areas, whether it is AI, data analytics, or it is astrobiology, which you feel will be relevant to them, and then what you want to do as a collaborative research. So these are the three major components. The last part, you have to spend more time rather than the first two parts, just to attract them to listen to you. The last part is very important. What do you want to do with them is the most important part. So I'm sure you will all live up to our expectations, and you have done it. Amitians have done it. So there is no doubt that you will succeed in this effort. Now, finally, there will be two more markups. It is just, this is only to brief you and also listen to you what you have made. We want to see from few of you. And today, mostly the astrobiology, we have the Vice Chancellor himself. He is in that field, astrobiology, Dr. Santosh. Thank you for joining. And your Amity University, Maharashtra, Mumbai has done a lot of very, very valuable contributions, and you are closely working with ISRO. And your presence, yourself coming for the meeting, shows how much you have attached importance as well, and your motivation to your faculties who will be joining us also. Thank you so much. Similarly, Dr. M.K. Datta, he is an expert in the AI, global expert. So he has joined. So that means the AI is a very important component as an emerging technology for space application. So that is why this meeting is very, very important. APSTIA is coordinating this whole program, and Shefali is on a day-to-day basis. She is in contact with ISRO for all the logistics and also the program formulation development. Thank you, Shefali, for this coordination, very, very meticulous coordination. And now let us give constructive suggestions. Don't wait only for us to give suggestions. Each one of you can give suggestions on the presentation because each one of you are experts. Not that it is only A.K. Singh or myself or Vice Chancellor or Khatri. Khatri is also here. Dr. Khatri, thank you for joining. So let us give constructive in a positive way. How do we improve our presentation so that the faculties are also getting motivated? They are spending so much time in preparing. So let us give constructive suggestions. Let us strive for excellence. That is the philosophy with which Amity works. Strive for excellence. This should be the best. Give your 100% and make your presentation the best. So with this, I welcome you once again on this meeting, at this meeting. And we are all eagerly looking forward to listen to you. And Kavita Joshi has also been linking with the logistics and others. Also, she has been in contact with them also. Thank you, Kavita. And so Neeraj and A.K. Singh and Shifali, thank you so much. Now over to you, Shifali, to conduct the further proceedings. And also I welcome Vice Chancellor, Dr. Santosh once again, and thank you for joining. I know you were in an inaugural meeting when I spoke to you just half an hour ago.
Yes, sir.
I'm heading to another meeting, sir. I know that our people are defaulting, as Dr. A.K. Singh has rightly pointed out. See, we got the information only yesterday. And, we had certain schedules that has been already being done. And these people are outside the campus. And if that is the case, then Dr. A.K. Singh, we can't do anything much other than the Vice Chancellor himself summoning to you. Okay, that is why I'm here. Okay, I just wanted to make this very clear to you. The second important thing, is with regard to our time-bound thing, we are lagging behind very much, and our Honorable Chancellor has given a very strict dictum, and attending meetings, and finally these people just dropping in from different places when they are currently there was not possible, and this is the first time more people are defaulting your meetings. So I just wanted to make it placed on record as well.
Santoshji, we fully understand. Don't worry.
Yeah, I
See,
just
this
wanted
is
to
Amity.
explain the context.
Everyone is so busy. That is Amity. So we fully understand. Thank you so much for just also responding to A.K. Singh.
I hope.
No, he was feeling that,
Fine, sir,
you can appreciate
I
his
just
attitude.
wanted to tell this. So I hope I'm convincing Dr. A.K. Singh. I even called him 2 times, but A.K. Singh ji was little
No,
busy.
no, no. I just wanted to flag because the way the founder had been, navigating, and I thought this is a most important event.
No,
That's
sir.
what. Otherwise, no,
Yeah,
nothing. Certainly, if someone has the commitment, certainly you are the best judge to
no,
prioritize.
no. The problem with the campuses is it's on an average, we have been bombarded by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different head offices, institutions where we have certain important skeleton line and length to be followed. When we are defaulting, the timeline we are not able to just.
No problem.
That is-
Dr. A.K. Singh, we will have a separate presentation for astrobiology.
Yes, sir.
From
Yes,
there,
sir. Yes, sir.
maybe
Because
tomorrow or we'll seek the convene. Shefali, you get in touch with Vice
Yes, sir.
Chancellor, check
yes,
the
sir.
Yes, sir.
convenience. Let's move on.
Because sir,
Let's move on.
astrobiology, to my understanding, is one of the gray areas for them and opportunity for us.
So that, and Santosh Kumar himself has
Yeah.
worked on astrobiology, microbiology, and space environment. You have contributed yourself, so he's present. I think maybe Neeraj Sharma, we can ask him for a few remarks, and then
Sir,
we can
if the panel and Salomati sir would excuse, I have another meeting going on, sir. If you would excuse,
right.
let me just move
Yeah.
on.
So
We
I
will
think
we will
AK
talk
Singh,
later.
we will have a separate presentation for astrobiology.
Right,
Thank you
sir.
so
Right,
much,
right,
Santosh
sir.
Ji, Vice
Thank you.
Chancellor sir. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining, sir. I will take your appointment for the next meeting, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Santosh. Yeah, go ahead, Shefali.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, we have been joined by Dr. M.K. Datta. In our workshop, we have one of our session in the artificial intelligence. So we would humbly request the remarks of Dr. M.K. Datta because he will going to present, as you suggested. He will be a presenter there. So, sir,
And
over to you.
before that, Neeraj Sharma, anything
Yeah, I
you
missed.
No,
Yeah,
I
I'm so
think
sorry, sir.
no, it's okay.
Yeah,
Dr. Singh has already mentioned. I don't want to repeat whatever
yes, sir.
has been discussed. Yes, this is a big opportunity. I will once again say, and founder is directly involved in this, and it's going to be a networking exercise for our scientists to understand what ISRO is looking at, what are the challenges they are working on, what are the issues that they are focusing
I'll be
on.
back in a
And
minute.
this is actually the, so we have to think about what is our strength in terms of space science and technology. Those who are going to make a presentation, I think these are some of the guidelines that we will discuss, and we will have to be sticking to those guidelines. And when you make a presentation, you should be brief. Your communication should be very strong, and talk about what you have done, what are the requirements of R&D, what R&D things which are going on presently in the ISRO, what are their issues and what are their challenges, and what we are going to offer to them. So this is a connect between ISRO and us, matchmaking basically. So
right.
and uh, one more thing which we were looking for is an outreach center, because this has been talked earlier also. An outreach center will be supported by ISRO to Amity University, and this is going to be a big achievement for us. Probably, I think, sir, Dr. Selvamurthy, I think in the workshop, what we are looking for, three things basically. One is a MOU, of course, which is going to be a memorandum of understanding between Amity and ISRO. The second thing is the outreach center, which I think can be announced, may be announced. I think that opportunity we should not miss in the inaugural. If it can be announced in front of Dr. Somnath when he is present over there, if this outreach center is announced, it is a big boost to our efforts in the space science
Which
and
Dr.
technology.
Sudhir ji is very keen. Sudhir ji is
Yes, sir.
very
So
keen
that
on this
opportunity, I
sector.
think we should bring it in some of the agenda items in the inaugural session somewhere, that we would
Yeah.
like to make ISRO to announce a support of outreach center. The third thing
Good
is
point.
the R&D, areas which we would like to work with them. So these are the three outcomes that we are looking for from this. So
Thank
I
you.
think Dr.
Thank
Singh has already talked. I don't want to repeat. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah,
thank
Dr.
you. Thank
Sharma, if you remember during his visit, Dr. Sudhir's visit, he also indicated that we can use the name of ISRO in our outreach center, ISRO Amity Outreach Center, sir. Just
you. Right.
wanted to.
Okay. Now you can request Dr. Datta.
Dr. M.K. Datta,
Shefali?
sir is here, sir. Yeah, Dr. M.K. Datta, sir. Sir, we would humbly request because we will request your presence also if approved by Founder President. But we would like to hear you on the areas of AI in space science technology, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're audible, sir. Please.
I got the mail just half an hour back, and now you want. So, but anyway, yesterday evening I had a talk with Salvamurthy sir. So I'm not fully prepared, but I have prepared something. I have some ideas which I can show. And actually the email came to me only half an hour back, so I could
Yes,
not
sir.
prepare. But still, whatever slides I have, some skeleton I can show you some ideas, and maybe I will request inputs from our AK Singh sir and Salvamurthy sir, and maybe I can come with a more concrete and more. I don't have a proper presentation. I have some skeleton, so I
No,
Sir,
can.
Dr.
we'll
Datta,
going
Dr.
to
Datta,
have the
sir,
mock presentations on Monday,
Shefali,
sir.
just a minute. Dr.
Sir.
Datta, sir, we basically we are not asking for any presentation. This is just to meeting,
Yes, sir.
and how we would be making presentation, and with the background means what all our presentation should embody. So if you don't have presentation, I'm looking.
I have a skeleton presentation. Please give me some time. I'll
Yeah,
just show
yeah.
you 5 minutes. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
But this is, please do not consider as the final presentation.
Right, right. This is the first draft. We'll see.
First draft, half an hour. I just rushed for last half an
I
hour.
know.
So is
Yesterday
the
evening we had a long chat. Isn't that
yes,
I enjoy talking to you.
So maybe by today evening or by tomorrow, I'll have much better,
Very good.
much composed presentation. So is the
Yeah,
screen visible?
please
Is
go.
the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very nice. So thank you. And I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. So, see, the point is, we are Center for Artificial Intelligence. I'll make, as discussed with Salvamurthy, 3 to 4 slides showing our AI capacity, like our computing resources, some, faculty, some scientist resources. So that I'll make. Here, I have some possible ideas, which I did some browsing, seeing some European websites and something, and some ideas I got. So I'll just show some possible problems that we are going to present, but this is once again not complete. My search is not complete. Maybe 2 days from now, I'll have a better presentation, but let's proceed. So this is what it is. So the topic is AI-driven remote sensing data analysis. So if I say this, now let us say there are various amount of various sensors that are connected in the satellite. And now once you collect this data, we as computer scientists or data scientists or AI engineers, most likely we can do a lot of things here. So now what are the things I'm presenting? I'll just show you a pipeline. Once again, let's say these are the sensors. Can you see? Thermal
Yes.
infrared sensors, optical sensors, SAR, some radio antenna based. So whatever signal we get, and we need to understand, formulate the problem. I need maybe a couple of days to understand. So the data that we get from there, can we do a predictive model? Can we do a diagnostic model? Can we do a time series model? So these are the things we can do. But the pipeline, we have some idea. For example, let's say the data acquisition, data pre-processing, model development. Now, for example, let's say you're talking about a communication failure. So here, what are the things that comes? Let's say we talk about a communication failure. Let's say you're getting continuous payload from a satellite, and let's say you have a failure for let's say 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Now that during that failure, what kind of data you have actually missed out? We have got LSTM models and time series prediction models through which we can do it. For example, is the data valuable? Is the data? I have some notes also. Just one second, if I can show the notes. I have prepared some notes. Yeah, there are some notes. So, for example, the data collection, how to collect the data from the satellites, and continuously streaming from, how to use the APIs and data services that may provide. Then let's say the model development. When you talk about the model development, what kind of model do you? Let's say we talk about a vision. Let's say there is a rover which has landed in a rover has landed in some planet. Now during the trajectory of the planet, during the rover will make some trajectory, you need computer vision. Okay.
Yes.
So what addition things we can do? Can we give a inverse kinematics control to do some obstacle avoid, or follow some trained recurrent neural network where we know the previous history and how to take the next step, and of course implementation and deployment in these things in small devices. Let's say you talk about a gadget device like very lightweight devices like Raspberry Pi or a Jetson Nano, which are, let's say, 500, because you can't afford too much of load. So that is another point. And from that, these are the things you can see. So when I talk about sequential deep learning from this, like ResNet, InceptionNet, Vision Transformer, these are very powerful. These are very powerful architectures. For example, if we talk about Vision Transformer. Now, Vision Transformer is a very powerful architecture which can give you a semantic idea about the neighborhood of an image. Let's say you took a look at an image. There are very latest things have come up like self-attention models, etc., where you can leverage the idea that when a whole image is in front of you, for example, there's a whole image, you have a tree, you have some water body, you have this, how you use a transformer model, how you use a self-attention model to make decision, for example, it's like this. I show a photograph to you. For example, I show a photograph to you and I ask you, what is this? You will tell there is a tree, there is a water body, there is an obstacle, there is a stone, there is a some boundary. Now the same mechanism have come up, in Vision Transformer. When they look into a scene segmentation, it's actually able to generate the information like understanding, and of course parallelly, like a human being does it parallelly. We can do it. Yellow models have come up, So can we integrate that? We have to understand from the space scientists that do you need this kind of solutions where we can integrate real-time parallel processing systems to take this, like ResNet, inception models. Now we talk about sequential data analysis for weather forecasting. Now LSTM models are very powerful. Autoencoders are very powerful. Now once again, depending on the data that we have, uh, for the benefit of all of you, let me tell you, there's a website called as Hugging Face. I don't know if you have heard, if anyone of you have heard. Hugging Face is one of the top models, they are giving across the world. The good thing is everything is free. It's open source. Now, if ISRO shares any sequential data with us, let us say you share, let's say, weather, some kind of data, like anything that is related to weather forecasting, let it be the vegetation, the rainfall, whatever you have. Now we can proceed that data and make a predictive analysis. Of course, there are work going on. LSTMs are also very powerful, and autoencoders are infinitely powerful. Theoretically, sir, I tell you, I said I was talking to Selvamurthy, sir. A paper has come up in 2018 called "Attention is All You Need." It's by
Yeah,
one of the Gujarati guy. He's a Guju guy named Ajit Vaswani. He works for
right.
Google. Now, with that kind of models, the power of artificial intelligence has become infinite. The only limitation is the computing power, how much compute you have. So maybe we can talk about any sequential data analysis or weather forecasting. Talk about climate monitoring or trend analysis. Any trend you want to find out. I have some special slides that I'll show you. Let's say deep belief network or Gaussian process regression. These are models where trends can be analyzed in frames or in blocks or in some segments to make self-attention models and take decisions forward. Now yellow. Now if you see this model, yellow is a very powerful model. It has also been given by I think yellow is from a Canadian university. Yellow is open source. Now we can integrate yellow, of course. I think this is open source. So yellow models can be integrated for real-time computer vision. The speed of recognition of yellow is at par with human. For example, if you show an image, there are let's say there are 12 objects in an image. There's a bus, there's a car, there's an animal, there's a person. So like a human being can look and take a parallel decision of all the object present, YOLO models can do it. So can we implement that? Now we talk about the data fusion and multimodal learning. Now multimodal deep learning is that multimodal is like that. Can we integrate sequential data and grid data? For example, if you have a weather data and you have a computer vision data, can both be integrated to take a decision? Like
Correct.
earlier, we used to process only grid data. Grid data means computer vision, image data. Now let's talk about multimodal deep learning. So maybe sequential
And
data,
also
maybe
data
time.
fusion. And also data fusion.
So that's what I'm talking about. Let's say there's a sound, there's an audio signal, there's a temperature deviation, there's a humidity deviation, and some images it is showing. So can we integrate all of them to make multimodal deep learning models? No, the implementation is once again tricky, because we can always say that we have got adequate amount of computing power to train models, and of course implementing them into small devices. Like we are doing a workshop on, I mean, next week we are doing a workshop on Jetson Nano and Raspberry Pi. They are very small devices in which all the powerful AI models can be integrated. Because deployment is another question. We cannot carry a huge, 20-kilogram NVIDIA machine to the space. So how you deploy these small things into a 200-gram or a 100-gram small processor? So that is another thing we can. And of course, evaluation options. And optimization models. There are many optimization models. If you have got a huge sequence of data, there are many optimization models. Nature and then like nature inspired algorithms. We've got many, so we can most likely use them. We can propose.
Dr. Datta, can you just give an example of this last part, evaluation and optimization?
Evaluation and
Suppose a
optimization.
rover context on a surface of the terrain of
Well,
a.
it's like this. Evaluation and optimization means, for example, you are making decisions with the help of, let's say 50. Let's say I take a decision on the basis of 10 features. Let's say,
Right.
let's say I'm sitting in an interview and I'm interviewing in a candidate. So I look into the appearance of the candidate, the knowledge scale of the candidate, the understanding of the candidate, the patience of the candidate, the presentation of the candidate, the communication of the candidate. So these are the features. These are the features on the basis which I'll take a decision. Okay,
Right.
now evaluation and optimization means how much weight I give to each of them while making a decision. So while a robot is there, well, there is a robot in a what do you say, an anonymous environment, because these robots are not trained for, let's say,
Yeah.
you can train a robot for Earth. Let's say
Correct.
you talk about a rover. A rover you can train it for a urban city or a village or something in an Earth. But when you go to somewhere like Mars, let's say you go to Mars or some unknown places for which it is not trained, optimization is something which comes into picture. Let's say you get 20
Got it.
features 20 features comes in. So how the machine actually optimizes it and uses the best possible features to make a trajectory motion, or to, let's say, you want to go for auto sleep mode, because the rover also has to go to an auto sleep mode to save battery. When is the communication mode? When do you go for the auto? So these kind of decisions has to be taken on the basis of multiple features,
Correct.
and you need to
Correct.
optimize.
Good.
Now, this is we did a work actually. This is about the inverse kinematics. Like, let's say, so this is not complete, but anyway, because the meeting has been called, so I'm showing it. It is not complete. So let's talk about a rover movement, a small yeah. So we talk about a small rover movement. So what are the data and how do you use the machine learning algorithms to do that? Actually, this is an inverse kinematics problem. And this inverse kinematic problem, X, Y, Z, the coordinates in which two-dimensional you control, how do you control it? So if we have got data, like sensor data for camera images, LiDAR scans, IMU reading. So I don't know much about it. We have to, that in the workshop, more insights and clarity will come up. Let's say we have got the environmental data, how these features comes into picture, and atmospheric data like temperature, pressure, humidity, etc. The terrain data, the mission data, okay, the historical data. If you have all this data, most likely with all this data, we can train very complicated deep neural networks or recurrent neural, RNN models are for sequential data. So deep neural network are for grid data, like an image, and recurrent neural networks like LSTMs and autoencoders, therefore, sequential data, like a time series data. Now, if you integrate all of them, we are trying to give a human-like intelligence to a robot, and the challenge here is that it is exposed to to an unexplored environment where it has never been exposed. You can
Right.
train a robot for a place in Earth. You can show a robot all, but when you're going to Mars, so that is the challenge. So of course, ISRO has to share some kind of data that they have gathered from the previous satellites, so that we have some information and insights, and we train these models. So this is more about the trajectory optimization in terrain mapping. Let's say talk about obstacle avoidance. Predict about optimal rover movements. So something will propose. I'll make a better slide of it. Now this is deep neural network for let's say just okay. So we're talking about a deep neural network for satellite image change detection and prediction. I picked this from the ISRO response basket. Today morning, I was seeing the ISRO response basket. You see, liquid neural network is a very interesting concept that have come up. Now, what is liquid neural network? It's an interesting concept, but ideally, it's like how do you train? In some language, they also call it as frugal machine learning. So what they say is here is with limited amount of data, can you train models? Like for example, you will not have a huge amount of data from Mars. You will not have infinite amount of data from some satellite images. So models have to be developed, like let's say a liquid neural network to automate. And this is a problem where if we have got a series of data, let's say you give me some data, some ISRO can, if they share us data, let's say 2000, 2001, 2002, 2002. So let's 20 years of some satellite data and how the changes are happening that can give you for prediction, what is the change detection? What may happen,
Right.
like say water bodies, talk about water bodies, talk about vegetations, the primary or predominantly important factors for any country or the world, like vegetation moving up, iceberg melting. So if you have those kind of data, and if you have a continuous sequence of data for let's say last 10 years, 20 years, of course ISRO is having those kind of data. So maybe we can use different models, like liquid neural network is one, because I think ISRO response basket clearly mentioned LNN. They're asking you, can you develop liquid neural network? I was seeing the ISRO. Actually, sir, I have.
So you have the capability for LNN?
It's a new model, but yes, we can do that. It's a model. It's a model. It's like training with less amount of data. Actually, I have applied for a um, project for ISRO. I was just seeing my data a couple of months back. So enhanced monitoring and surveillance may be the target. Efficient decision making, data driven policy formulation, environmental conservation. These are all very broadband and very pressing objectives, which you can see on the right hand side. That I'll make a better slide, connecting the uh, proposed task and the objective. This is But once again, you can see the change detection and prediction may be one of them. I have written some one-line problems. Sir, I don't have PPT, but I'll just quickly run through some of the things. This I have to
Right.
prepare. I have to prepare complete on that.
Yes.
So what my suggestion will be, my submission will be, I will present you 10, 12, 13, 14 proposals, out of which then finally you pick 4, 5, 2, 3, maybe Kissing sir and Neeraj Sharma, sir, everybody will do that, and let me prepare 14, 15 proposals like that.
Very
And
good.
then
Very
I'll
good.
also do some internal, survey like in European countries and all, how these people are doing. Anyway, so these are one line. I have just mentioned some ideas right now. Like for
And
example,
also some of them will be futuristic, what they will be looking at, so that those should be seeded. Very good. Now you can go ahead.
these are one-liners, but I'll make a complete slide within 2 days. Now, let's say
Right.
artificial intelligence can predict and diagnose equipment failures on spacecrafts and minimizing risk and extending the mission duration. So
Great.
if you can, it's a sequential life cycle of a machine. So if we have a sequential data, let's say talk about any machine, first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. If you have got some sequence, some images, something, we know the deterioration, the degradation of the machine going on, and maybe the model can predict that it will 90 days from now it will fail, or like 100 days from now it will fail. So this is one possible problem. So this is the objective here is that existing maintenance strategies and costly and mostly reactive than predictive. You can react to it before a huge damage is done. Now AI can leverage large constellation of satellite. Now let's say the satellite traffic is, I think, another problem. I was today morning I was reading. So satellite traffic is another problem, because if countries are releasing constellation of satellites, now optimizing the bandwidth, the position of the satellites. Let's say there, how do you cover maximum traffic, maximum payload from the different planets and other celestial bodies you want to collect? So how do you pose it? Let's say optimizing the coverage, bandwidth allocation, pollution avoidance. So the problem statement can be managing the large constellation of satellite presence, because I think India has also launched constellation of satellites. Now satellites are being launched in constellations and they move around when they're on board. So these problems like ensuring optimal coverage, bandwidth allocation, effective pollution avoidance, amidst. So if we have got the data about these kind of satellites, maybe we can make predictive models. But once again, data dependent. So I'll make a proper slide out of it. The potential of it next is the potential of AI to improve the efficiency and reliability to space ground and space communication network. I mentioned, let's say you have got a sequence of data coming up. Let's say any data, humidity data, let's say rover is sending you data, humidity data, some data, it is sending you continuously for 24 hours, 36 hours. In that 24 hours, you get a 5 minutes break. At 5 minutes, the machine has fault, there is a responder fault or something. So to recover what kind of data was most likely available in that duration, we can use temporal methods. There are recurrent methods. There are a lot of methods coming up. We can predict. So this is one. Signals also. Let's say there is a signal. There's a any range signal, a UHF signal or a microwave signal or a any range of signal. If there is a breakage of signal and you have some loss of data, maybe AI prediction models can come into to say that this must be having the recovery of data. Okay.
So
The role of
this
AI.
recovery and give the knowledge out of it. The break also, it
Yes.
fills the gap.
Let us say for 24 hours, if I know this is the pattern in which the data was moving, for 30 minutes there was a failure and we did not get the data, AI models can predict the best probability this must have been the data that has come, unless and until there is some surge or something like that.
Very good.
So the role of AI in analyzing geological data from planetary surface, helping in the search of minerals and analysis for soil samples. So this must be another thing. Like there are unexplored places, like most likely there are unexplored places where every country must be willing to find out resources of minerals, coals, petroleum, etc. So if those images, if you have got data, continuous data from them, most likely AI can be helpful in finding, availability. Like we can analyze from the geological data and geological data can be anything. It can be images or it can be any other resources also, which may be discriminatory in giving you some kind of idea.
Spectral data, spectrometric data.
Any kind of data, we can do that. So I think that's the slide that I had. Of course, having said that, sir, I could make these slides very quickly, like just.
Very good,
Sir.
very good, Dr. Datta.
This data set, Dr.
Excellent.
Datta, Dr. Datta, are you suggesting that these are available with ISRO, or where are we looking for this data set? Let us say for minerals
There,
exploration.
these data sets, there are some data sets in public domain.
Hmm.
I have to WhatsApp because I never worked on any space application.
Right.
I never worked on any space application
No,
till
I'm
date.
just talking about data, whether it is space
I
application or
think
whatever
I
application.
give me a couple of days. Some data is available online
Okay.
because US also releases data. US also
Yeah,
releases
NASA.
US also releases data. Indian, but of course, if you have a very targeted, problem to focus on,
I
so then
also suggest some of the these challenges which you are posing, very right challenges that you have posed, which are very natural and very logical challenges that you have converted into problem
I
statement.
have
I am just saying that whether ISRO or any other agency has already worked on those, if at all they have worked on those, what are the things that
sir,
they have
I
offered?
sir, I do not have idea. I was doing a lot of web
No, it's
browsing.
okay. I'm just posing a question to myself or everybody else, not to you. That if such kind of things have happened in the past, what is it that they have achieved so far in this?
Uh,
I was seeing a European. There is a European consortium today morning. I was seeing one website. I got something. I actually, sir,
uh,
I am not in a position to answer
Sure,
this.
sure.
Maybe if
no,
you give me 2 days
just a
time.
moment. Dr.
Yes.
Silvamurthy sir, Dr. Datta.
Maybe give me 1 minute time, sir. I have handwritten 2 3 points just now. I'll let
Okay.
me finish that. So one problem I was finding that advanced satellite imaging enhancement for precision Earth observations, like enhance the resolution and the quality of these satellite images to advanced image. Like you get low quality of images. How can you improve? This is one problem I was thinking. AI is AI control, AI based spacecraft control optimization that I showed the trajectory, but control dynamics can also come into picture if you have got focus data. Third thing is like space based marine this debris monitoring with AI. This may be another
Yeah.
problem. Forest detection in satellite image, the imaginary forest, afforestation, deforestation, this kind of data. And the last point was I was seeing in some vehicles, computer visions can be used to detect hydrogen leakage in cryogenic engines. So they are working on that. So this also some 4 or 5 slides I'll make. Just have handwritten this data. So that's
Sir,
it from my side.
Dr.
APC,
Silvamurthy sir,
yeah, please go ahead, Singh
I
sir.
think Dr. Datta has made a wonderful presentation covering the
The time
no
will
no
come.
I mean that the ideas, but after listening to him, I have one submission. If we really see that lot of money has been spent on creation of this center, and which is emerging as one of the unique strength of Amity, and what Dr. Datta has explained, barring a few areas where I think I will say let's avoid, where let's say which is not the mainstay of the ISRO, but otherwise let's propose that these are our capabilities where we have a huge data analytical facility and expertise, and that what is our HR expertise, so that we can work for you, wherever they want our assistance, where we can help them in analysis, we will help them, and we can request them for a long term relationship. Means we can act kind of a their satellite center, not if totally formally, means yeah, understanding that you would be doing this ABC for me continuously, because what Dr. Datta said and what I understand, it is a long drawn process. We work with each other, and we go strength by strength and are able to deliver. One. Number two, Dr. Datta, I will submit, when we say geological applications, because ISRO may not be that much interested. This is what I feel. ISRO may be more interested in data communication, or what you said, the predictive maintenance or data recovery, or connectivity. That what I feel. But certainly this is your strength which can be mentioned. And lastly, when you make presentation, I think all these statements which you are saying, you can flag all the areas, your ideas, for them to conceive that what they want to do with that. But
Just
great,
one
this
point,
is
sir.
going to be our strength.
Just one point, Dr. Singh. I think ISRO may not be interested in everything. ISRO is a data provider.
Yeah,
Let us
that's why
say.
I'm saying they may not be
If
interested in
yeah, they may
everything.
not be interested in everything. Let's say forest fires, but ISRO may not be interested in forest
Yeah.
fires, or ISRO may not be interested in marine biology. Let
Or
us say,
glaciers, the
or
situation,
glaciers. So
position,
there are a
and
hell of a lot of things which can be
yeah.
done. But our role with ISRO could be
Sir,
what
you allow me
best
to tell.
data
Sir,
we
you
can
allow
get
me.
from them.
If you, I'll tell you. Let me. You allow me. See, it is simple. It's all about business. It's all about money. I'll tell you. I'll put it like this. I went to Thales. We went to a Thales company a few days back. What I'll tell you to what I See, we should be confident. There is nothing called ISRO and nothing. See, the point is, if ISRO does this kind of project, they will be, they will be investing some 20 crores or 50 crores or maybe 200 crores. I'll project it. I can show you. You have to hire 10 scientists. You have to hire this many resources. This is this, and this is this. And the projection will be ISRO will, take one year to do the formulation and this, and you will have got, let's say, 100 crores of investment to do this. And what we will project is that you give us some 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, some money, and we have the leverage. We are going to work for you. It's not like, see, it should be a front foot batting. It should, like, I talk about, I talk about Samsung and Thales. I went to Thales. I told these people, I showed them a project. Now look into this project. If you want to do it, it was about an adversarial attack about this, that AI, some security. So the Thales guys, it's a French company. I told them, see, if you do this project, it will be 10 crore project for you. I told them, you give us some 5 lakh project, some, I think I proposed a 18 lakh, 20 lakh project. I told them, give us 20 lakh project and I will give you the preliminary result. This CTO, that Derby Gills, there was a French guy, he was a CTO, he immediately agreed.
So I fully agree, Dr. Datta, I fully agree.
So let me finish. To ISRO, so Selvamurthy said the presentation should be something like this.
Right.
That we have capacity, let's say we have a capacity, we have infrastructure, we have, and the cost at which we are returning the problems of your interest is at 10%, is 5%. So, and that's our commitment to the nation, that's our commitment to the ISRO thing. So
See,
there is
I agree with you, Dr. Datta.
there is absolutely no
This
point getting into
meeting-
backfoot. Sir, let me tell you, there is no AI scientist in ISRO. There is no AI scientist in DRDO. Let me tell you, they do not know
Yes.
anything.
I understand.
Barring 1, 2, 3 people, they don't even know to operate a GPU. They don't even know how to log into this NVIDIA. So this is an in-house meeting. I think this is an in-house meeting, right? Is there any
Yes,
ISRO
yes.
person?
No, no,
In-house,
sir.
in-house.
This is the in-house meeting, sir.
And please don't record. Please don't record.
No,
my
we are not
speech.
recording, sir.
So
we are.
ISRO, DRDO, CSIR, these people, for a 10 rupees project, they will use 5,000 rupees. Okay. So I know all these things. So let us be in front foot. Let us say that this is our commitment to this, and you can allow me to present, sir. Not a problem. I'll do that.
No. Good, very good. Dr. Datta, first of all, our appreciation for this wonderful presentation in such a short time. Because yesterday evening we had a long chat that how, and you were also sharing wonderful thoughts. I was so impressed. And you have presented in this half an hour, 45 minutes, the scan and relevance to space. So first of all, we are sorry that, we intimated you this information for this meeting reached late. And we are sorry about
But
it.
yesterday evening you told, so I started preparing, sir.
That is why I gave you advance notice. Yesterday
evening, and that's why I could make it.
Very good. No, so
Sir, देखिए क्या है कि the point is so many people are sitting there and I am coming to give a presentation. So if I do not present well, sir, मेरा मर्यादा का भी खराबी है. I think founders भी देख रहे हैं.
But you are an expert, global expert, not only Indian expert. You are a global expert in AI.
Sir,
and this center of
point
excellence.
Is, your ISRO, DRDO, these people, they don't have, because now they have started recruitment of these ML engineers. कोई post ही नहीं है आपके पास. See, ISRO, DRDO, they don't have post of ML engineers. They don't have post of AI engineers. वो कैबिनेट नोट से जब तक वो पोस्ट लाएगा तब तक आपका टेक्नोलॉजी आगे चला जाएगा.
ठीक है. Okay, now we have to move further. And founder president also has appreciated your presentation in such a short notice. You have been able to make this. And we have tremendous aspirations from you, expectations from you, because you will be in the first technical session. And that is why your presentation will be important. So let us again sit 1 or 2 more sittings. We will refine the presentations. But the first cut is very impressive. Compliments to you. And we can move ahead with the Datta Sahab, you stay back so that you can also give suggestions on other data analytics. We need your expert advice on this. Over to you, Shefali. You move to the
my last point is, I'll prepare, let us say, 10 or 12 problems, and then next I will present after 2 days. And then AK Singh sir, Dheeraj Sharma sir, Selvam sir, आप लोग बता दीजिए कौन सा रखना है, because AK Singh sir ने भी clarity बता दे.
And bring the new and futuristic disruptive ideas. This may be after having thoroughly seen the other space agencies, what they are doing in this AI, and if something is available, and the data sets they will give, because this is a confidence building measure. They have a lot of expectation from Amity. That's why they are.
Sir, Dr. Datta has also brought out another point which needs to be flagged. That is, we can do a quality research at low cost.
Yes.
That's
Good
what he
point.
has pointed out. I
Good
think
point.
where there we should say that these are our strength, this is our infrastructure,
Right.
this is our expertise, these are the areas where we can deploy, we can engage with you, we can help you, and we can
Right.
deliver that. Again, I repeat, at low cost, the quality work. Now let
Absolutely.
them come, and for a long term relationship with them.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Dr. Khatri, anything you want to say, or we can move to the
Sir,
next
we should be,
presentation?
AK Singh sir, you're right. We should be in front foot. We should tell them this is our commitment to the nation. Because it is our
Exactly.
commitment to the nation. See, we can see if you ask me, if I do not represent Amity, if I am on my own, I will tell them, see, I have come here to serve the nation. If you do not like my idea, I'll go and sell it to some Israel company or some other company. So that should be the confidence. Like
They
I
will
have
not do that.
technology,
They
I know
will.
how to do it. So I have come here
Okay.
because you are my nation. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's it, sir.
Correct.
And all
Thank
these
you.
ideas are very powerful. Every idea is a startup. Every idea is some, they're very.
Wonderful. Dr. Datta, great. Now, Shifali, we'll move on to the
Yes, sir. Sir, in session one, application of artificial intelligence in space science technology, we have proposed three scientists. Dr. M.K. Datta, we have already interacted with him, sir. And then Dr. M.S. Prasad, sir, and Dr. Shivani Verma.
They
So they
have
have
gone.
gone to DRDO. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Now our
so
next
that is
session is
where.
data.
Hmm,
Yes, sir.
right.
Our next session is data analytics in space science and technology. We will be starting with Dr. Gagandeep Kaur. She has joined us from our Haryana campus. Dr. Gagandeep, we would humbly request.
Yes,
I think you have also got your presentation ready.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Great.
So Gagandeep, welcome, best wishes. We
Thank
listened to
you.
you in the first free previews. You were very impressive, and your presentation, communication was very good. Best wishes. We are looking forward to listen to your presentation.
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your best wishes. I am just sharing my screen. Uh, so I think that my screen is visible. Dr.
Yes.
Shefali, can you please
Yeah,
confirm?
please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I extend my greetings to everyone present here. A very good morning to everyone. I think it is, very good afternoon to everyone. So the topic that I have, I am being related to is coming under the data analytics domain. And what I have very keenly listened to Dr. M.K. Datta, and I think that, this data analytics and this AI are very interrelated to each other. So this is what
Yes.
my, my input from there. So I will be trying to link with what Dr. M.K. Datta sir has said. I have noticed some points from his presentation as well. So let us just start. So talking about my research, I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mathematics of Amity School of Applied Sciences at Amity University, Haryana. I've completed my PhD from Thapar Institute, and I have so far, this is my research profile that I will be showing if I will be getting shortlisted for presenting there. I'll be talking about this, that this is the software proficiencies that I am having, the scientific research journals that I am having. And instead of reading all this, I have compiled this another slide. So this was just, draft presentation. So in this, I have, as it was told, that you have to highlight your research accomplishments. So this is what I have attached about my, that I have 830 citations with an H index of 13. I have started my research back in 2018. Till now, I have 18 research articles, and the highest impact factor that I have been published is 8.5. And I have one book, one edited book that I have co-authored, and it is published by CRC Press under Taylor and Francis.
What you have in mind for dedication?
So let us just talk about the research accomplishments and how I will be mapping that with the requirements of the ISRO. So that is, the first is that I have already worked on developing the algorithm for parking the autonomous vehicles. So this has been published in the expert systems with applications. And second, I have developed the algorithm under cubic intuitionistic fuzzy sets for noise clearance, edge detection, image segmentation, and feature extraction. including the background detailing. So I have worked on this, making the algorithms for this based on image processing. And the data that was there was the fuzzy data. And obviously, we have worked on the fuzzy data. We can work on the normal data as well, which is not fuzzified in nature. Next is I have worked on introducing algorithms based on big data in analyzing the questionnaire feedback for the COVID-19 screening the travelers at airport terminals during the COVID-19 outbreak. So this research has been published under applied and computational mathematics. And this work, then I have also developed the decision-making techniques for pattern recognition and medical diagnosis under the probabilistic settings, like where we are unsure, and under the sure settings, like if we will be having the sure data. Next is I have worked on the quantifying the gestures information in the brain hemorrhage patients. So learning about all these, looking at all these research accomplishments, I would like to highlight that one of this paper that was algorithms for screening travelers during COVID-19 outbreak was also recognized by World Health
But Gagandeep,
Organization.
why are you showing all this? Please show us the problems.
Yes, sir. I am moving on to that. So let us just talk about my plans at how can I contribute with ISRO. So I can contribute in the I have also seen the respond basket. So out of the respond basket, I have identified certain areas which are not limited to, but I have highlighted a few. So that is, one is the autonomous path planning. In which they are asking about that they want us to, from the data, to do the path planning. So this work can be done on the basis of, because I have done the work on parking planning of the autonomous vehicles. So that study can be extended onto the satellites as well in the autonomous path planning. Basically, it is based on the unmanned satellite vehicles. And also we can, I have worked in signal processing by processing the data from the radar information, from the radars. So that can be used, we can use that for the satellite communications as well. Image processing that I have already highlighted. I can help them in processing images received from satellites by removing the noise, by differentiating between the multiple similar appearing images. And we can also process the videos as well. Like if we have this short video snippets, we can differentiate them, and we can pre-process the big generated data by the satellites. Next is under the data pre-processing and processing, we can contribute into creating novel customized signal processing algorithms. As in the last session that we had all together, there was also about, sir also said about the cryptography. So I can also contribute into cryptography. I have read a little bit about that. And we can develop the strong cryptic models based on some mathematical functions, some complex mathematical functions, and can contribute into the cryptography. And in the pattern recognition and medical diagnosis in the respond basket, I have seen that they are seeking research collaborations into the health monitoring and health report analysis of the crew members. So we can develop the pattern recognition algorithms for understanding or for analyzing the reports, for analyzing the health reports. We can do the health monitoring of the, we can also contribute in the health monitoring. This I am saying on because I've also already worked on gesture quantification in the brain hemorrhage.
I was actually like the last pattern recognition medical diagnosis. Actually, I also had seen that, but I don't know. Most likely these days, satellites are unmanned. I think manned satellites are very few, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the respond basket, it was mentioned. That's why I mapped
This is for Gaganyaan, that's all. In Gaganyaan, once you put astronauts there, the Gagannauts, then how do you monitor the health of our own Gagannauts who will be going to space, or when we send people in international space stations? Space stations. So all this they are looking at now as a futuristic planning, Gaganyaan and ISS.
And
they are looking for.
So we can
again another challenge creeps in the amount of data, because you won't get the data band that any huge amount of data can be transmitted, because though you may be able to capture there, but how
Yes.
to transfer, that is also a challenge.
Okay, very nice. Next.
Hmm.
Yes. So,
Very
so
nice.
these are the baskets that I have identified till now. Because we were
Okay.
asked to keep it very short within the 5 to
I think
7 slides.
Gagandeep, all this I already covered in my presentation, right? It is
Yes,
almost
yes, sir.
similar.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but very nice, very nice, very nice. You have
Uh,
Very
done a
good.
very nice.
Dr. Datta, now, because she would also be presenting, you have to leave one or two aspects for her, so that it is not a overlap. I think we need to talk with each other, that what portion is to be left with her, so that she flags those areas.
So Gagandeep, what I suggest is reduce your early portion of COVID and others,
Yes,
which
yes, yes.
just to show expertise, you have mathematical modeling,
Yes,
data
sir.
analysis is your strength, and
Sure, sir.
also
Sure.
pre analysis and post analysis of the data and modeling, mathematical modeling. So say it in a few one or two slides, then come back. Now you expand on these, which will be relevant to, like that Datta mentioned about when the rover is there, sensors, data fusion. So like that, everything, the whole focus was on discussion relevance to space, which you have shown in the last slides because it's a preliminary presentation. But now please focus on this. If you say pattern recognition and medical diagnosis, that how it is relevant to Gaganyaan mission or in the International Space Station when we send the astronauts from here, and how to monitor the health over a period of time, or during the travel, interplanetary travel. So like this, you should bring the relevance and expand more on that.
Yes,
There, what is the novel approach you will bring?
yes,
That should be highlighted. Your
yes,
And
mathematical modeling capability, how it will be very novel idea which will help ISRO. That should be visible in that.
Sir,
yes, sir.
Like
Gagandeep has got one unique strength where she can dwell on that. That
Yes,
is the developing cryptic models, because the data security is again a challenge, and would be a
correct.
challenge. That
Good.
when our space station is transmitting any data, so let it be transmitted in the cryptic form,
Yes, sir.
because cryptography, that what you mentioning, it is your unique strength. You can dwell on that also.
And the
Okay,
pattern
sir.
recognition.
also
I
there
think
is
Dr.
there is
Datta can guide again
actually
after
Gagandeep,
you have
like
made.
what you can do, Gagandeep, is that because you are a data scientist, so and you will also try to actually find out mathematical models to which actually can analyze and get more inferences from the ISRO data. I mean, space-related data. So
Okay,
cryptography
sir.
is definitely good. And also try to highlight some, if you have some statistical model or some mathematical model, just try to find out, because my presentation is more about modeling. My presentation is more about AI. I think
Yes, sir.
you are not, you are more a data scientist. So let
Yes,
us
sir.
keep it different. And most likely, even the problem is same. Let us say, if I talk about a modeling of, let's say, deep neural network modeling for a particular task, you can always present the same thing in a data analytics form, where you are
Yes,
going to
sir.
use a lot of
Yes,
statistical
sir.
models or
Problem is
in,
same, but the approach to handle that is different.
maybe you are more into statistical models
Yes, sir.
and mathematical models, or any good research paper that I recently got published. That
Yes, sir.
should be
Okay.
good. Very nice,
Sir,
Gagandeep, very nice.
Dr. Datta, in this case, we have to dovetail both of your your presentation. When you would be presenting first, so certainly you can flag, and then when she presents, she can also link her presentation, ultimately how sequentially or in the spiral form you would be complementing and
Okay.
supplementing each other.
ये
Good,
पहले
good.
बना
I think
लेते हैं. You make your
we
final
can
thing, and
move
I will
ahead.
also make my final, and we will see.
Yes, sir. Sure.
So Gagandeep, appreciation.
Very
Good,
nice.
well
Yeah.
done. And
Thank
now
you, sir.
we will expect the next presentations to be deeper and more relevant to space research, which will be
And
expanded. And Dr. Datta will guide you also. You can take his
Where
guide.
you are in
Gagan,
which campus? You are in Manesar campus.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very
One day
Gagandeep,
you can
small
come over
submission.
here. One day you
very
can
nice.
also come over and sit with him in the AI
Come
Center of
over की
Excellence.
जरूरत है नहीं है. Online also we can discuss. You can come if
Oh,
you want.
Yes, sir.
right.
और
Very good.
गगनदीप, जो तुम्हारा पहला स्लाइड है ना, उसमें डोंट राइट फुल सेंटेंसेस.
Okay, sir.
Just say, small, and first and second slide there can be accommodated in one only. And
Okay,
when
sir.
you have said the research accomplishments, no need to give the references niche,
Okay, sir.
Right.
because here we are, we are talking at a different level. उसमें कोई उसकी
Yes,
जरूरत
So, Selvamurthy sir, actually, somebody from ISRO who has actually worked in ISRO, because whatever I am presenting, I actually do not know the ISRO thing. So maybe if we can, once my presentation is ready after 2 days, or Gagandeep madam's, maybe I think Prasad sir has some ISRO experience. I mean,
Yes.
somebody,
So
somebody,
actually, we have requested him today also to be there, but
somebody
unfortunately,
from,
there's another
I think
important.
somebody from ISRO actually, before the final presentation on that day, if somebody from ISRO also says, "Ki, theek hai, this is fine," some comment if you get, and maybe it will be nice, sir.
No, we'll identify some person.
Anyway,
And
I have
for
a
a
friend
briefing,
in, I have a friend in ISRO. I will try to contact him.
right? Who is that person?
His name is Choyan Dotto. He's in digital system group. He's a quite senior scientist. I think scientist G.
Okay.
He's in. I have to check out. Sir. Most likely he's in Ahmedabad or in Bangalore. He was
Right.
my roommate. He was my roommate.
Oh, very good, very good.
That
Develop that friendship. Now, faster,
actually
closer.
when that photo was released, when that mission failed, that blue shirt fellow was this man. I think his photo was
Oh,
there. In one of them.
sorry to hear. Okay, now go ahead, Shefali, please move. Stop sharing, and then you can ask. I think
Yeah, Dr. Gagandeep, thank you so much for your
Sarika.
presentation.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you, Datta sir, for staying back with us and sharing your valuable suggestions. Your suggestions are highly required, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Going forward, we would interact with Dr. Rika Sharma. She is Associate Professor at our Amity University Chhattisgarh campus. Dr. Rika, hope you are ready with your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. All the best. I see Shefali women empowerment. More
Yes, sir.
women scientists coming like in ISRO.
In
I
data
find Amity
analytics, we
My
have
slide
all
visible
three
now?
women scientists, sir.
I see that.
Yeah. Please go ahead, Dr. Rika.
All the best,
Very good
Rika.
afternoon to Honorable Chancellor, sir, and esteemed dignitaries present here. Myself, Dr. Rika Sharma, I am Associate Professor in Amity School of Engineering and Technology from Chhattisgarh campus. Sir, I'm basically working in remote sensing, earth science observation data, and using some data analytics and machine learning methods. So the sensor observations where a satellite is used to gather the data, and some simulations are done to get the deeper insights of the data, because the data is very voluminous and the velocity of data is being generated every day. So modeling and simulation is very important to get the deeper insights of the data. So the data, nature of the data, any scientific data we talk about, it is having a spatio-temporal nature of the data. So time series analysis and spatial analysis both plays a very important role. So we have the upper diagram is showing the spatial, and this one is the time series data. So time series analysis, just like LSTM, Datta sir, Dr. Datta sir, whatever he mentioned, the techniques that we use to handle the scientific data. So I can very much relate it to that, because I have worked on all those, some of those methods. So it was very useful and very informative for me also. So these are some of the challenges that we faces in the scientific data. And as Dr. A.K. Singh sir mentioned, that there is some challenges in data also, because we have a huge data in MBs and TBs. So we have to extract the data, and because the scientific data is always in hierarchical format. So extracting the data that is required for our problem statement, it is a very tedious task, because we have a huge data, and to understand the scientific data. So we have various tools.
Actually, Dr. Rika, I have a
Yes.
suggestion. Actually, this slide is actually a textbook slide. Okay. So what you do here is that instead of this, try to relate it to the space science problem. The same thing. Okay. When you write this is a textbook thing. I mean, the presentation it should be related to the space, like scalability or dimensionality. If you can
Yes.
add something about the space thing, like a space, just try to mention, like, see, this is a simple textbook stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
This is
This
a
is
textbook
actually,
stuff.
sir, it applies to all the scientific data. So
Okay, that's what I'm telling. This is a textbook material. This is a general material. So instead of writing scalability, just complete a sentence using that space data which has got higher dimension or something. Let's say data captured at different resolutions, at different scalability. कुछ लिखो वैसे high dimensionality में, try to relate that these dependencies or these points are actually relevant to some space data. The points are correct.
Yes,
Related to a space problem. Okay.
Okay, so
For example,
each of the point I have to relate with a space. Yes, sir.
this
Yes.
noise and missing values. This noise and missing values. So you can connect it to any payload that is being connected to a satellite in the ground station that I mentioned. Like if there is an interruption in the transponder or the receiver, and if there are some values, how remove the noise and how the generate the missing values from using a time series analysis. So just relate it. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
this is
sir. I
very
have
fine.
noted it down, sir. Yes. Thank you,
Very
sir.
nice.
Thank you so much.
Good suggestion. That's a good suggestion.
Next slide.
Yes. So these are some of the research expectations that we have to deal with the complex, non-linear, multidisciplinary, and high-dimensional system. So we are looking for some advanced computational methods that can
Once again, Dr. Rika, you just try to keep it in the space data context.
Yes, sure. So these are some of the publications that is related with the scientific data that I have published, and that relates with the climatic data, because in scientific data I have specifically studied about the climate data. So these are some of the publications.
Very good. Very good.
Most likely, Dr. Rika, what you can do is that whatever you have done, just try to relate with some space data. Let's say if there is your presentation is over.
No, now it's going to start the proposed area.
Sir, remote sensing data exploration and data visualization gathered by spacecrafts using AIML techniques for knowledge insights and decision making. So, sir, actually my PhD research work was in this. So I have used many methods. So I have not mentioned here because I have a lot of work that have done. So just I have given the overview of what can be done. And here, if you suggest to me, just like, sir, I have used some of the publications I will explain here. Sir, this is the clustering approach that is basically used for teleconnection analysis. So in this, we have used some fuzzy logic concepts to improve the accuracy of the existing methods. And this multi-tier hazard natural, which is published in Natural Hazards. Yes, sir.
Is it related to space data?
Sir, it is related to, I have downloaded data set from NASA. And it is a scientific data. It is a scientific data.
Space data.
Not, yes, sir. Yeah, it is Earth Science Research Laboratory. Because, sir, I also try to communicate with ISRO for data, but Bhuvan and Bhunidhi, these are the two websites in which we download the data of ISRO. But all the data are not free. Some are free and some we have to pay. And some data restricted for government. And so that is some... I try to communicate with ISRO for getting the data.
Somewhere the indication should come up that the model that you have developed may be useful for this kind of data in the space science analysis. So that will make the connect.
Yes, sir. Self-organizing map is there, sir. This one self-organizing map, which is neural network model, and it plays a very important role because it uses the dimension reduction, PCA, and EOF method. Then we have used self-organizing map, so it is used to get the deeper insights of the data, and with that we can find out the anomalies. And just like I can show you the example here. This is the example. So here we have used change detection algorithms. And this is two terms that phenomena is there that we call it as El Nino and La Nina pattern. So this change detection algorithm we have proposed. And with this, we have identified the anomalies in the series. So anomalies, this algorithm and this has spatial representation of this, and this is a time series analysis. So this accuracy, and then we have identified, and whatever El Nino years that we have in a record that matches with our result. So this is one of the paper that is communicated and it is accepted here in Soft Computing Journal. One study was based on the regression analysis that for Indian summer monsoon rainfall. So we have used regression analysis for that. Then we have inference model is there, in which we have proposed the mathematical model for finding the extreme events. So some mathematical models we have proposed, and based on that, this paper have been published.
Now you expand on this
Yes, sir.
proposed
It was
area.
just to, yes, sir, to just the very brief introduction of what I have done. And these are some of the areas which I have covered in my research work: pattern detection and classification, then time series analysis. I have worked on LSTM, then anomaly detection is there. We have proposed algorithm for this, data visualization, data explorations to get the deeper insights. Then ISMR, we have related with the teleconnections, climatic teleconnections. So these are the areas where I can work, because scientific data will be of similar nature, and it can be of any domain. So just we have to link it with the domain, and the methods we can apply, the AI/ML methods or the data analytics process will be the same, but domain knowledge will be the different.
Next.
Yes, sir. That's because just it was
Now,
restricted to
now,
6 slides. So
now, you see, Dr. Rika, I have some suggestions. What you said is all correct. But the point is, you most likely the people of ISRO who will be sitting there in the committee, it will be hard for them, to interpret unless and until you connect it with a space problem.
yes,
Okay.
sir. Sir,
So what I say here is,
community. Yes,
no, let
Rika,
me
listen,
finish.
listen,
So,
listen to
yes,
me.
sir. Yes,
so you see, you are a data scientist. Data is a data for you. What you
yes,
said,
sir.
the last statement is absolutely correct. Let it be a grid data or a sequential data or a time series data. It doesn't matter to you, right? A data
Yes,
you're going to model. Now, it will be hard for the ISRO people to understand. There will be a communication error. There will be a communication gap between you and the ISRO people, because the ISRO people are some mechanical engineers. There are some,
yes,
some chemical engineers, some nuclear scientists, some this. So most likely, so the easiest way to connect is like, for example, here. Now, if you say pattern detection and classification, maybe if you make a next column like a satellite image data or a temporal weather data or a sequential, some weather, something. So if you do it, the connect happens. Dr. Ricky,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
to connect it. Otherwise,
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
because see, for you, AI is like ML is, machine learning is day in, day out. But
Yes,
for ISRO scientist, he's a mechanical engineer. He's a
yes,
chemical engineer. He's a space scientist. So he will
yes.
not understand. So just try to make it, just connect the points, connect the dots, and otherwise very nice. I think you have a very good knowledge also, Rika. Very nice. I'm very impressed
Sir,
with you.
one thing that just I would like to say that Indian Institute of Remote Sensing is there. That is constituent unit of ISRO. And there they from the Respond Basket 23, I found one problem statement that relates with my area. Otherwise, I am open to another area also. But identification of significant early signals in data in the area of ocean using AI techniques for space. So this is the area where I thought that it will be relevant with my field.
Connect it.
Yes, sir.
See,
Yes, sir.
write the
Sure, sir.
problem, write the problem, connect it with the space problem, then
Yes,
connect it with whether it's a sequential data, and then say that whether you're going to use an LSTM model or an autoencoder, that let there be a connection, and let it be very easy for the other side people are not so much
yes,
expert
sir.
like
Yes,
me.
sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
they are
Once the
mechanical
domain
engineers.
knowledge, yes, sir. Once the domain knowledge I will have, I will be able to connect it. So just, sir, give me some time so that I
Yes,
can study on the domain, and then I will link that.
connect it. Just
Yes, sir.
connect
Yes,
it.
sir. Sure, sir. Thank you,
Dr.
sir. Thank you
Rika,
so much for all the valuable
Yeah.
thank you, Dr.
suggestions.
Datta. Dr. Rika is a very, very
Yes, sir.
good presentation. Compliments, congratulations. And this is very relevant also. Now, what you need to do, if you are presenting a research proposal, something which has not been done, we like to see in the next presentation that using these expertise you have, you select 2, 3 challenges which
Yes,
ISRO will have in image processing or data analysis, which they get a huge data from so many satellites, which is zooming the all data down to ground station. But not much is being used for synthesizing knowledge out of it. So
yes,
select 2 problems, whether it is for remote sensing, for prediction of weather, extreme weather event, then you say that this is how I will do. This is the novel approach I will bring this. So like that, you expand on one or two themes which you are showing, enlisting. After having shown, out of this, I will give us a few examples of specific cases which I like to intend to work with ISRO, and then go deeper into that.
Yes.
Okay, so then I think this is what he was also mentioning.
Sir,
Otherwise,
I have one submission.
please.
I think I totally agree, but I'll request Rika to, do one more thing.
Yes.
It is, you please Google or scan the literature and find out, what are their gray areas or gap areas. You may not
Yes.
get directly. One is, suppose you are proposing that in data analytics, you can do the following things. Because
Yes.
these are the things which others may be doing, but may not be at that level.
Yes.
So you have to see that you should be talking or projecting the level where they find it useful. One, because if they do not have expertise, they would be hiring people to get these things done, because they have very well established, because they are successful people. ISRO is a successful organization, so they may be getting these things done by outsourcing.
Yes.
So it is kind of a, in the auditorium, you have to see which are the seats which are lying vacant, and where I can make my presence felt, or where I can say that I can fill this gap. So if you do Google, or if you just go through the various agencies and their work, so you would be able to make a better impactful presentation.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. Sir, definitely I will do the literature review, as well as I will try to download the data set if available, so that it will be easier to get into deeper insights.
Because if we make this presentation और उनको लगे कि ये तो हम करवा ही रहे हैं, तो we will not be
Yes,
able
sir.
to attract their attention. अगर उनको हम ऐसा बोलें कि where they feel no, we can do something which they are not able to do it or get it done, तो वहाँ पे
Yes.
then we will have a better chances.
Yes, sir. I will pinpoint the problem definitely. So thank you, sir. Thank you
Otherwise
so much for your
appreciable.
time.
Otherwise appreciable. Great.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you so much, sir, for your suggestions. Dr. Rika, please unshare your screen.
Yes.
Silvamurthy, sir, at 2 o'clock, I think you also need to attend that governing body meeting.
You have one more. Sarika
Yes, sir.
Jain was
Sir,
here.
yes, sir. Two are left, sir. Dr. Sarika Jain, and we have also
We
invited
will listen to
Dr.
them.
Abel. Yes, sir.
Please
Great,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yeah. Dr.
The
Sarika?
other governing body is the 2 o'clock only. So
Yes, sir. Dr. Sarika?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Great.
sharing my
Please
screen.
upload your first. Yeah. Dr. Abu,
Sarika, you have a wonderful center, data center,
with your
data
presentation.
science
Yes.
center.
After Sarika, we're going to have your presentation, please.
So my screen is visible?
Make it in full screen.
Yes,
Yes,
your
sir.
screen is visible, but make it slideshow. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Right.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. In today's presentation, I'll be just more elaborative about the projects we have discussed earlier. So myself, Sarika Jain, and I have the expertise in artificial intelligence, data analytics, image processing, as well as computer vision. So what in our department, me along with my department, what we are doing in AIIT, that is satellite image analysis using artificial intelligence techniques. We have applied convolution neural network that has been applied to customize data set of 10,000 images for satellite image classification like residential, dense, medium, and sparse agriculture, storage tanks, tennis court, building. So this is all for classification purposes. One has applied a convolution neural network and has got the 95% accuracy. And the algorithm overall accuracy was 99%. Apart from that, we used to get sometimes the ready-made data, and sometimes we used to collect the temporal data time to time. But the major challenges we find during our research, as well as I'll just talk about some of the key areas in which ISRO is working on. So as a researchers, we find some major challenges are scarcity of data set is the major bottleneck for satellite imaging classification and detection. So ISRO could help us in giving us or in providing us the data. Then for deep learning algorithms to be capable of identifying the objects in pictures, we typically need thousands of labeled images. However, in general, satellite imaging data is unlabeled data. So for that, we need a huge size of data to do the identification, classification, recognition jobs. And similarly, the pre-processing satellite imagery to make it a use as an input, that is in contrary to convolution neural network, is a primary hurdle, because whenever we have to implement the deep learning techniques, our data set size should be huge. Otherwise, we won't be able to get the correct accuracy of the model. So these are the primary challenges we used to face in our research work. Online data sets on which we work, they are available on Kaggle and GitHub. Generally, customized datasets are also being created by combining datasets from the different sources of internet and then resizing them uniformly. We have also collected the data from Bhuvan. It is an Indian web-based utility center which allows user to explore a set of geographic content prepared by the Indian Space Research Organization. So this data is created on temporal basis. So one our student, she used to collect the data on hourly basis and use it in her research work. But again, the hurdle is to get the data, because she used to be online after every 1 hour and to collect the data. So after doing this work, she was able to collect the 10,000 of images. And after that, the classification work for urbanization and remote areas, she has worked in that field. So about the 4 project titles which we were talking about, these are few handpicked on which ISRO is also looking for the solution. So we have find out these are the problem areas for ISRO. So that's why we have taken these problem areas into our project, into our proposal. Otherwise, Dr. Datta actually in fact has covered all these issues. So just go into the details of these problems. The first one was super resolution image generation. So as we have talked earlier, the satellite images in journal, the standard image, the 1 pixel of a standard image is of the size 10 meter cross 10 meter. And this is the major challenge to increase the resolution of the images, or 1 meter to 1 meter or less. So we could do the analysis to increase the resolution. For this, the latest network, generative adversarial network, could be used, or other means of increasing the resolution. Like if we talk about the properly data analytics part, so we can do the interpolation as well to increase the resolution of the image. The major application or how this work is being useful to the ISRO, that is the ISRO is generally useful, generally interested in getting the surface area of the moon. So the moon images, if the resolution of the images could be increased, then of course we can better understand the moon images and its architecture. Other major contribution in this area could be ISRO is generally does disaster management. So this disaster management could be, it will be little bit easier if we are able to increase the resolution of the image. So these 2 application areas, apart from military application, we are able to think of, as Silvamurthy sir asked earlier, how this work could be useful to the ISRO, or how and why they will be interested in this work. So these were the, like, they want to just analyze the moon images by increasing their resolution, as well as to mitigate the risk challenges, disaster management. So for that, they need the high resolution images. So just let talk about what is this all cycle and this generative adversarial network. This is any deep learning or machine learning model. This is the overall life cycle of a model, which starts from gathering the data, which we can get from the ISRO. Data preparation and data wrangling are the cleaning steps which we can apply on the data, and then analyze data. Then we could train the model, either applying any machine learning model or deep learning model, or we can apply any statistical model. If we just pinpointing to the data analytics part, so it could be a pure statistical model as well. So similarly, if we are going into the data analytics core point of view, then we can include this as a statistical. Otherwise, we can you mention the word machine learning and deep learning if it is included in the AI domain. Then the last part is test model and deployment. So these are the common steps, whether we are talking about any AI model, machine learning model, deep learning model, or any statistical model. So we have thought of applying this GAN network, which is adversarial network, in which in general, any convolution neural network, there is only one network which works and that network is used to train itself. But in adversarial network, there are two networks which runs parallelly. One is consisting of real images. From that, we just generate the sample images, and then there is a discriminator. If that discriminator is able to find out the difference between the original image and the generated image, then again there are two this validation functions, they work parallelly. One is trying to find out whether how much powerful that algorithm is, and the other algorithm, other work which works in parallel, that tries to just, diminish the work done by the parallel algorithm. So, these two networks, they run in parallel. So this is the latest work, and I feel we
can you hear
will
me?
be able
Dr.
to,
Sarika, Dr. Sarika, can you hear me?
yeah.
So it's okay. I mean, this is a GAN network. So the point here is once again the same thing, that why is it, how will it help the space data should be, that should be the, because uh, a simple, a GAN network that you have shown here, if you can connect it, the one diagram and connect it from end to end and show that, you're putting that, what kind of satellite images or any space data that you're putting. And once again, the other point here is that, is it actually acceptable? I mean, did you see like medical data, uh, synthetic data are not acceptable to train models. Okay, GAN is mainly for object detections, when you have got low amount of data. So here, I don't know. That also you can check because the ISRO
Yeah,
people,
I'll check.
because ISRO people, because in medical information, medical data GAN normally they don't allow. But here, if you can check, but if you can relate it to any object detection, it is fine. Any object where there is scarcity of data, and any object detection is fine. But if you are talking about anything which is a sequential model, or anywhere you're putting a memory thing, like if there is a memory, let's say RNN model or this, then I don't know. You please check that. Otherwise, it's a good idea.
I'll check it, because finally our ultimate aim is to detect the object. So that's, I will find out, because
If you connect it to an object detection, then nobody will object to
of course, because finally our
If it is
ultimate
sequential data,
objective is to detect the objects.
that is fine.
Good.
But
Move
if it
ahead.
is sequential data, then yeah.
Okay, so the second, again, Dr. Datta has discussed about, that is, they have the huge data. They have the special sensors like ISTRAC and SHR. So they,
So, sorry, also, one sec. In that GAN, you can put, to make it more interactive, you can put all, a DC GAN or a STEM GAN or all possible things, which gives you better resolution. Put something, and if you have some basic results, put it. I mean, then
yeah, sure.
it will make more. You are from Noida campus only, na?
I'm from
So
Noida campus.
you can discuss with me. You can put, make the slide very interesting, that Hugging Face and all these have this. Put some satellite images and show that some preliminary results are there. That will make it
Yeah,
very
if we are trying to find out on which problem area we are working specifically, then we will make it more elaborative actually. Okay, so this radar data is being generated by ISTRAC and SHAR sensors. They could be analyzed for the environment, for weather prediction, generally for wind movement, where weather prediction about to saying what is the direction of wind movement towards the landmass. And for this, how the wind, temperature, precipitation, etc., they are varying, so that we can predict the rainfall and the dry area based on weather images. This could be taken from the L-band radar or S-band radar by IFRAD. So this could be particularly interesting, because in my last project, which was sponsored by DRDO, so we have taken the data from the radar, and because we have just some experience how to work or how to deal with the data gathered from radar, so this could be particularly helpful. And there is one latest problem also, on the runways, when the plane is just taking off or just landing, so there at that time the presence of gale or haze, that is quite necessary, that is quite important to avoid any kind of accident. So for that, what is the wind movement, what is the haze, what is the gale, and to study all these kind of data, we could use this space data gathered from these two sensors.
Sarika, actually, you
Yes.
can start with that. Expand on this project. But this is actually to detect an abnormal or a hazardous object on the runway, which you are doing a DRDO project in which radar data is used, and how you are doing it, show some data also, and then say, now I want to extrapolate if it's a rover is going to encounter an adverse object, which which it has to detect and then avoid. And so like that, you relate this experience of the DRDO project to space, and then also show that where it can be applied, this radar data analysis, space
Yes,
radar
sir.
data analysis.
Yes, sir. That's really a nice idea. I'll just think over it.
Right.
Okay, so the next project we have discussed, although this project has also been discussed by Dr. Datta, so that is debris data analysis fragments. So in this problem, the major problem is how would we know that if a satellite breaks apart, in how many fragments it will break? So we can model this like how a satellite will break in case it is impacted by other satellites, or how it will impact the other satellite. We can find out the trajectory of those fragments. And so all this is the particular data analysis project. The size, we can just find out their size of the fragments. We can number them for the future analysis. So it is directly related to the debris it will produce. So this is another idea which we can work upon. So not only just finding out the
Here
size and
again, you
numbering.
expand on this. This is a
Yes.
very interesting problem, Sarika.
Yes,
So
sir.
you expand how you would do it in a unique way, how it will help ISRO in launching the next missions. If it mission path is on that trajectory in which these fragments are moving, the
Yes,
whole
sir.
mission will be a failure.
And
Or a
risk
satellite
analysis
when
and
it is moving,
mitigation.
another satellite is moving. If this debris comes and hits, so like that you make some relevance of that. Expand on this also.
Yes, sir.
Sarika, you because whatsoever we are saying and nothing wrong in that is not new to them. Understood? They all already know all these problem statements. We have to highlight how differentiately or how differently we would be able to help them out.
Yes, sir. That's
because
what. So
because
these are
because,
the
because
unsolved
debris
problems.
debris analysis basically came into the highlight when DRDO has launched the ASAT.
Exactly.
And after that, there was a lot of hue and cry from the NASA and from the US government.
Right, but these
Yeah,
problems are actually unsolved
are actually
problems
there,
till now.
actually there.
Yes.
So you have to just highlight again. I'm saying in what way we are different and in what way we can really
Yes, sir.
add.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, if they are not there to listen to us, that what is the knowledge which is available,
Of course,
we
we
have
have
to
to
see
give the solution, how we are going to solve
yeah,
it.
how we can deploy the known knowledge or the knowledge generated by us to solve their problem.
Right, sir. Of course, that is the solution is needed first.
That's all.
Otherwise, these are unsolved problems.
Exactly.
Exactly. And the last is exoplanet detection. And there are a large number of planets which are Earth-like. We get the data of that. So there is a method to detect how it is moving over a bare planet. So all this data is published by NASA most
I
of the
think,
time.
Sarika, you have not corrected that spelling, planets.
Sir, I have
A number
corrected.
of planets, Sarika.
Yes, 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 sir. I
We asked you to
corrected
correct
here,
it.
but here I just forget it.
Go
I'll
ahead.
correct
Sorry.
it.
Now go ahead. So how are they? ISRO is interested in this exoplanet also, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is there on their that website.
Yes, sir, this is it is on their website, but sometimes from our mutual context, we come to know these are some problems which ISRO needs the immediate solution.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a method to detect how it is moving over the planet. All this data is being published by NASA. And most of the time, and people analyze their data to detect whether it is an exoplanet or not. So we can develop an artificial intelligence program to do that and can do the fine tuning. So these are the 4 problem statements. So you suggest we should work on all 4 of them or some of them so that they should not overlap with Dr. Datta's presentation.
So Sarika, good, very good. And now you expand on each of these, how you would do, how it is significant to their mission,
So,
and
but we
from their
need some
website.
time for this, need at least few days to work on.
Yeah. No, you work on 2-3 days, and Monday, Tuesday we'll have one more sitting. in which, as if you will give the last presentation, we would like to see how exactly you would present it there, which one you choose on the priority. One is giving a canvas, but the other one is out of the canvas, select a few and go deeper, which ISRO will be interested.
Yes, sir.
So
Sure.
that you'll have to do looking at ISRO websites and also their challenges which they have put. And also we should look at other NASA and other places, what are their priorities currently, so that it's global importance as well as mostly relevant to Indian space research. Otherwise, these are all very important areas.
Yes, sir. So that's it
So,
from my side.
Shefali, who is next?
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarika, for joining the interaction. Sir, Dr. Abul Amir Khan, we have requested him and he has joined us. Dr.
Sir,
Abu,
I am leaving because I have examination duty.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir.
That's
Thank you.
important. Go
Finally,
ahead.
we also
Sarika, best
decided
wishes.
about Dr. Sarath. I think
yes, sir.
we should also give him an opportunity to speak online. If it is not available offline, we should be giving him 5-7 minutes, slotted somewhere so that he speaks online, because Dubai campus is space science and technology campus. They are already having a ground station with them. They are doing a lot of experiments. This will be a very good, for us to showcase. We should involve him, sir, Dr. Selvamurthy.
But I think we decided that he would be
That Sharath
But
came
he is
in
not
the first
appearing in the
meeting.
list. He is not appearing in the agenda.
it was decided.
Sir, he will be there with the online presence. Physically, we have not shortlisted him for the physical.
Oh, that's okay. But we have
Yes,
to
sir.
show somewhere that he has to speak for 5 minutes, 7 minutes or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sir,
the agenda.
then we will sit together and we will discuss this slot
So
wherein
we
we
have
can
to
fit him.
eliminate somebody and accommodate him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
No, otherwise also we'll have, after these physical presence, then we will have some slot for, you have already kept in each session.
Sir, we
some
have
for
kept only
online.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
So
Yes,
10
sir.
minutes. So we will give him that also. We will reschedule. We will make the final plan later.
Sure, sir.
Good point. Neeraj point is good because that is very important. Amity Dubai, the ground station, they are doing a wonderful job. And Sarath is connecting with UAE Space Center. Now, last presentation to Abdul.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
good
Dr.
af-
Abul.
Please go ahead.
shall I?
Best wishes.
Thank
Best
you.
wishes.
Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Abul.
So good afternoon. I will not take more than 7 to 8 minutes, but I would like to share important points actually. I'm sure you must aware with that. So first of all, why ISRO or anybody, any organization is working on space? So definitely the answer is to understand about the universe, to understand about the planets as well as about the Earth. Now recently, and the second major objective is to find a suitable planet after Earth where we can go. Recently, before yesterday, 4 scientists are going to stay in Mars. The mission will start from 10th January. It's a 45 days mission. So I'm focusing on the second objective, a suitable planet for the Earth, which many believes it is Mars. So when we are talking about surviving, I believe there are 2 most important things. First is definitely air, and the second is water. Without that, we cannot survive if we are focusing on the second objective. So I am focusing on these 2 objectives, which is the most essential things. So recently, scientists have found that there are few places which have Mars-like similarity. So Ladakh is one of them. In Ladakh, particularly, if I'm talking about Sokar Lake and Puga Hot Spring. So I would like to mention how I went there. So there was a ESEP, Earth and Space Exploration Program. It was initiated by Amity University, Mumbai. I got the chance to be part of instructor there, so just because of Amity University, Mumbai. So as Dr. A.K. Singh has already said at the initial, that should be about the Amity, not a particular research. So I could not be there if they don't invite me. And I went there, then I found, yes, these are the locations where we could think. So now coming back to the Sokal Lake. So these 2, I'm focusing particularly on the Sokal Lake. I'm being specific. Now, the Sokal Lake is one of the hypersaline lake, and it is evaporating it very fast. Recently, the NASA has found some evidence of lake existing in the past, right? So, and it has got diminished, and now it's a salt lake left behind, and they found a salt lake mountain. I mean, the salt has been deposited on the mountain. So I believe with the scenario in the Sokal Lake, this could happen in the past. Not very far, within 10 years, I believe the rate at which it is evaporating, this when there is a salt and there is a wind, definitely salt will go and deposit on the, you can say, on the mountains. So I believe climate change, the understanding of climate change is very crucial for understanding how this evaporating is very fast. And the proxy, for example, remote sensing, chemistry, this is just the tools to understand about the climate. We can use different kinds of tools, definitely. For example, I would like to use oxygen isotopes. Oxygen isotope is one of the proxy which can tell us about the climate. So there are few things which need to be understand. For example, that I'm talking about the climate change. So there are evidence there were glaciers in the past at the Mars. There were lake, there was water, but it is not there now. Like that, it is happening in our Earth. Their glaciers are retreating very fast. The lakes are, the water is diminishing very fast. So when we are talking about the climate change, we talk about the mostly anthropogenic, but there is one more that is natural climate change that is called, for example, in case of what is the Milankovitch cycle, there are three parameters which tells us about climate change is a natural process, right? So yeah, definitely we humans are catalyzing the rate of climate change, or we are catalyzing the warming.
Khan,
So
do you have any PowerPoint presentation?
I'm finishing in 5 minutes, sir.
You know, are you going to show any
Abul,
presentation?
Dr.
Yeah,
Abul, do you have the presentation?
Yes,
Because yes, please
Share
upload
here.
that presentation.
This is a very important area you are speaking about. So the Mars analog station.
As it shared, I have shared. Can you please?
No, not it. Now it's coming.
Now, so
Yes.
I will continue where I left. So
Make it slideshow.
yeah. So Ladakh
Great.
is which considered as an ancient Mars. So one important point actually I missed. So about the Milankovitch cycle, which is a natural process and causes the climate change. So it might be possible there is some natural cycle is happening in the past, because we started studying Mars very recently. We do not know what happened in the past. There should be natural climate change. There are possibility. I mean, we do not know that maybe, like for example, there are 5 major ice ages on our Earth. When humans were not there, and there was glacial period, in the interglacial period, there was warming, there was a cooling. So the same thing happened maybe on the Mars. We do not know. So what we can do is, to reach Mars is not an easy way to get the physical evidence. So one of the best approach is the remote sensing. We can get the remote sensing images, and we can get an idea about the Mars. So remote sensing, definitely we can use an approach, but understanding about the Sokal Lake can give us idea about what possibly happened over the Mars. So now coming back, the Black expedition, which is also known as ancient Mars, and as I told you, scientists have found that two major few places at the Ladakh, they are resemble like Mars. So as I told you, I was involved in that program with the Amity University. Mumbai has invited me as an expert because I have expertise in high altitude region. I have worked my PhD in high altitude glaciology, and then oxygen isotopes, and then upper Ganges river water, glacial water, etc. So consider, and I'm also working on the atmospheric science. So considering that they invited me, I was there for 2 years. In 2021, they started. I instructed 7 for 1 week. There were 12 to 15 participants. They again in 2022 they organized for 1 month. I was there for 1 month, so I got an opportunity to see the Sokal Lake and the Pova Spring very much. So that was not totally scientific. That was to teach the students, to guide them. So, but still, I got an opportunity to collect some samples, basic samples for electrical conductivity, TDS, and then in that context, as I told you,
I think Dr. Abdul, can you bring the focus on ISRO?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Yeah, very good.
So yeah, this was some of the images. So I'm talking about this salt, as you can see, which I explained. The lake is evaporating, and at some point it can be make a salt lake. And this is the Sokal Lake. Here I'm collecting the water for the basic parameters. So now coming back, how we can add the ISRO in our work, for example. So first of all, as I told you, remote sensing. I can ask for some remote sensing images for fast remote sensing. This page is the images particularly for understanding the Sokal Lake, how fast it is evaporating, and with current rate, after how much time it will be vanished. So again, as I told you, there are some evidence of hypersaline lake in Mars also. With this, I can use for that, and also this is some of the images. And so my major objective is to understand about the lake and such kind of environment at Ladakh. So rate of evaporations, chemical analysis of Soka Lake, and then stable isotopic analysis. One more thing I would like to add. Recently, there's a paper published by Chinese person. They have collected the atmospheric water vapor for oxygen isotope over the Mars. So like that, if we can suggest or if we can ask, if we put a sensor in our satellite, because they have done by remote sensing. So if we could put a sensor and the whatever satellite they are observing for the Mars, they can collect atmospheric water vapor. And the same thing we can have from the Ladakh, we can go and then collect the water vapor. And then we can compare how oxygen isotopes are different from these two environments. The data over the Mars suggests they are very enriched in O18, oxygen 18. Though I have prepared this, but I don't think so. You will be, if I'm not going to want in so much detail. If you will understand this principle, then we will understand about the importance of the oxygen isotopes, how they evaporate in nature. So it may take 5 minutes, 7 minutes. If you allow, I can go through it. Otherwise, I have, as far as ISRO is concerned, I am interested in remote sensing and then some analysis from oxygens and chemical isotopes here as well as over the Mars by using remote sensing data if they can give us. Yes, Silvamurthy, sir, you are not.
That's all.
Yeah, quickly, actually, I have.
Okay, close the presentation. I think you are touching a different area of, akin to Mars atmosphere, and where you are highlighting if they share the data with you, you would be able to provide them these vital information where they can compare something, at high altitude India and with the Mars, and particularly, relying on the oxygen 18 isotope, which you
Chemistry,
said you want to
major
protect.
chemistry, major
Yeah,
ions.
yeah. Certainly, you make it in such a way. Don't highlight more that about the Soker Lake. You say you were part of that. This lake has got these uniqueness, and these aspects are being studied there because it is kind of a proxy place to Mars.
Right.
And if ISRO shares with me the data, I would be able to provide A, B, C, D, E.
Objectives.
That's all. Am I right?
Right.
But to the point, because but they may not be interested in the background, but I think we can reduce the background and we can focus on the other aspects, what we can do. And in the meantime, you can also think, what more we can do, what more we can do.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul. It's good you have made a good effort, and I appreciate you went to Ladakh also. And this Mars analog station is very important to simulate Mars environment partially to some extent through this kind of simulation studies and analog stations. So you should bring the relevance. See, there is a aspiration for habitability in Mars. Even our Amity International School students have won prizes in the NASA using this. So we are also created, Amity has created a Mars analog station in Ladakh at this high altitude. You can mention 3,500 meters we have created, which will simulate some of the very important terrains and also the other atmospheric conditions of Mars. So we want to do specific area, whether you want to do the changes in the microbes or in the water bodies, which is available, how it changes using the data. So here it is still not clear that what is its relevance to the ISRO interest. So that if you can just bring that dimension in the next presentation, then we will look at that.
Thank you.
Very good. So I think now I have to go. Governing body meeting is
Sir, I'll
there.
take only 1 minute. I'll
Yeah,
request
so-
all the presenters to be there for the mock presentation. First mock presentation, which is planned on 6th May, that is on Monday. Then final mock presentation we'll have on 8th May. And
I'll
I'll let you know the timings.
take
Sir,
one. Before you close, I'll take 1 minute.
Sir,
Yeah.
as suggested by Dr. Neeraj Sharma, sir, I would humbly request if we all can sit, all the panel members can sit together and we can discuss the inclusion of Dr. Sarath in the program schedule so that I can inform him timely,
Right.
sir.
Right.
Yeah, sir.
So,
I'll confirm the time, sir. I'll
okay,
talk to you, sir.
before you give the concluding remarks, I want to
No,
thank all the
I'm not giving
participants.
concluding remarks.
You all did a great job, and we learned a lot from your presentations. And I'm sure that all these are relevant to space, but then bring more focus on ISRO. ISRO scientists, when they listen to, yes, I want to do this, I want to work with you, I want to work with you. So like that, they should say, they should have that urge. That is what you should bring out, not your expertise and how you can align, but aligning it, you should enthuse them that this is the area where Amity should do this job. So, okay, thank you. I'll take leave from all
Okay,
of
no
you.
problem.
And
I think 2 minutes. One, we have to be very careful about the timing, because I think number two, we will be sending you the template by evening, and so that you fit in your proposals in that template. And one more thing, we have to see that there is no overlap. We have to talk to each other so that we are working sequentially, not parallelly and overlapping. And one is, who am I, what I can do, who am I, what I know, in what way I can contribute to you, and what would be the impact, in what problem I would be solving, and any long term. These are 4 5 questions in the background, which we would be conveying to them through our presentations. Okay, that's all. And otherwise, wonderful, all of you have done a good job. Impressive.
thank you, Shefali, for coordinating
Thank
well.
you.
And
Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you so much. Thank you everyone for your kind presence. Thank you so much.